great man by the name Smith Wigglesworth, a very anointed man of God, very prayerful. He made a very profound statement. He said that the reason why the world is not seeing Jesus is because a lot of Christian people are not filled with Jesus. They are satisfied with attending weekly meetings, praying occasionally, reading their Bible sometimes. It is an awful thing for me to see a lot of Christians, people who profess to be believers, living a lifeless kind of Christianity, powerless in a place where their lives are parallel to a lot of unbelievers, lives their lives. That is difficult to tell which place they are in, whether in the flesh or in the spirit. It is my prayer for every young man and woman who is filled with the Spirit of Christ to be revived in these last days. This is a very short message that I'm giving to I saw in the month of August. There are men who were used by God and they were empowered to do exploits in these last days, what I call the latter glory. A man whose name was called Charles J. Finney, a man with massive fire. His appearance caused 200 souls to weep without any sermon, just by his appearance. He rode on a horse through a city and people went down crying down for salvation. Another great man by the name William Seymour, a man with edged tongue of fire. In his days, the fire of God came down physically to demonstrate ancient realities. The great John J. Lake, a man with tongue of fire. He healed the sick, and to a point, they arrested him for practicing medicine without license. John Calvin of Geneva, Switzerland. He paid a price in Geneva to the extent that in the whole of Geneva, there was no house without a prayer warrior. And he achieved this during his days by prayer. John Knox of Scotland. He cried to God saying, "Give me Scotland or else I die." And after his death, in Scotland, there is no beer parlor anywhere, or what we call in our current days, drinking bar. St. Patrick of Ireland. He used his signature to raise up a 6-man buried corpse. He cursed snake in Ireland. Until date, there is no snake in Ireland. They called him the Apostle of Ireland. Francis of Assisi. It was said of Francis of Assisi that he carried God to the extent that even he could understand the singing of birds. Another great man whose name is John Wesley. John Wesley also preached to the point that he was sent off from his city and he went to his father's corpse or his father's grave to continue preaching. He was sent off from the city and he went to his father's grave to carry on with his preaching assignment. And on his father's grave, 700 people came to listen to him. The journalist came and asked him of what his secret is about. And he said, "My secret is that I set myself on fire and people come and watch me burning." John Wesley. Wow, such a great man. Catherine Coleman. Catherine Coleman was so anointed to the point that on her way to the port, anybody that encountered where she passed, just by her shadow, people started falling under the anointing. Another great giant in Africa, whose name is Archbishop Benson Idahosa. The man carried fire. He was so anointed to the extent that the whole of